Welcome, everyone, to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Semino, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Walt Schwenk. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it's going very well. We are back on Awesome Truth. It is 2024, and it is January, and so we are doing a January watch-along, Walt. And of course, it's January. We're doing a Royal Rumble. Why would we not do a Royal Rumble, right?
Why would we not do a Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, we should make the show just watching all the Royal Rumbles and talking about them. I'd probably be fine with that. If we wanted to get a new gimmick at some point, we could literally go from first Rumble to last Rumble and just watch them all one by one.
I'm into that. That gives me less books to read.
We may become a Royal Rumble podcast at one point. But for now, as a one-off, we are talking about the 2020 Royal Rumble, which is regarded as one of the best ever and one of the most unique ever because, of course, it was right before the pandemic. And so it was all these great things happened. All these feuds were started, returns, excitement all over the place. And then the pandemic, and so that Mania was the weirdest, emptiest, saddest Mania ever, and it sort of put the kibosh on a lot of the enthusiasm and the excitement. But watching this Rumble, though, it's not going to diminish this at all. This was a great match.
Yeah, I remember watching this in real time and probably like thinking this was a top tier Rumble. Like it had a lot going for it, which we'll obviously talk about. But yeah, it's too bad we couldn't really finish that story because in the way that we would have hoped with a live crowd and etc.
Yeah, and I should specify it's the men's Rumble. The women's Rumble, Charlotte won. So can't speak to the quality of the match as a whole, but when Charlotte wins, that's one of those ones where you see your name on the marquee and you go, well, that's, why even watch the whole match? I can fill in the blanks myself.
Spoiler alert, she cashes in on the NXT champion, which is something we never talk about.
Yeah, it didn't go well as well. So, oops. But here we go. Well, let's start watching. It's a nice long match, as most Rumbles are. So, what's the timestamp on this one?
3 hours, 0 minutes, 11 seconds.
And it's on Peacock. So, open up Peacock and go to the Royal Rumbles and pop up in 2020. And like Walt said, 3 hours, 11 seconds, no minutes. Are you ready, Walt?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, Rumble. Oh, and it's Brock Lesnar. You may remember this as the Brock Lesnar Rumble. At least the first half is the Brock Lesnar Rumble.
Do you remember the story? I mean, the story is obviously Brock has no one else left to...
Is that what it was? They were like, Heyman was just like, Brock's going to go in the Rumble because why not? Like, he's just beating all you all?
Yeah, and he's just going to...
And he's going to beat all 30 of you basically in one once?
And have no opponent, yeah.
That's a good story. That's a very fun Rumble story.
Yeah.
Very appropriate for Brock Lesnar. And, there's most Brock Lesnar matches I would say are good. A couple of them, but the ones that are bad, you can tell when he does not care. But this is, as I remember from this Rumble, and we can confirm this in a few minutes, this is a Rumble where he was clearly very game for everything they did. Obviously, because he looked really cool for most of it, but he seems super into this idea and gives it his all. And it's just one of those things, I feel like it's very natural and a great example of what makes Brock Lesnar so good.
This might be his finest hour, this Rumble. You get the best of every aspect of his.
And if I remember, he gives the rub to a couple guys too, like not everybody, but a few people look pretty good in the process. So it's not like he's burying everybody. He is certainly tossing
a lot of people.
Yeah, but he's also Brock Lesnar, so I mean, I guess we got to give him a little leeway there. But I remember a few people look surprisingly good. One in particular, which we'll get to. I don't know why I'm being coy. We'll get to it when it happens.
4 years old.
Yeah. But I do recall this being a really, really good Lesnar. And like I said, a really good angle. Like very perfect for this era of Lesnar where he was mowing people down. And it's a shame that they didn't get to finish where it ultimately goes, because, oh, wow, remember this guy? The now fired Elias is your number 2.
This is the what was the alter ego or the cousin or brother?
Ezekiel? Right? Is that right?
I don't know.
I think it's Ezekiel. It's not. Doesn't matter because Elias is extremely irrelevant. It's just one of those gimmicks that was good for a second and then you knew it was never. You knew it had a very definitive shelf life. This is not going to last for 20 years. I bet. maybe 2 or 3 tops.
It seems like a rehash of like 10 other gimmicks.
Yeah, it's a melting pot of a lot of ideas. I mean, Vince just loves a guy with a guitar, though. There's no doubt about that. Like, if you can, every couple years, there's a new guitar idea, which is really a similar version of a previous guitar idea.
Right? Didn't Boogs have a guitar?
Boogs had a guitar. Obviously, 3-man bands didn't have guitars, but had fake guitars. Elias had a guitar. Honky Tonk Man clearly had a guitar. Double J had a guitar. There's just lots of guitars out there.
Well, Slapnut's guitar is a little different than Elias' guitar.
No, but the common thread is a guitar. Like, Vince just he thinks a guitar is like a great prop, or a great accessory.
Right. Like, if wrestling doesn't have a guitar gimmick, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's right. All right, now I'm seeing why this match is an hour long too. Is we're just really dragging this out.
Yeah. After sitting through this crap, you're probably just like. I imagine at the moment watching this live, I was probably like, I just hope Brock destroys this.
Yeah, they are achieving that goal. I can't hear what Elias is singing. Is he singing about how he's going to beat Brock Lesnar?
He called him a brain dead gorilla, and he's sacrificial lamb.
Volume up a tad.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta hear. Especially, I didn't realize there's gonna be lyrics or music so early.
I was chasing.
Brock almost fell too.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is kind of great.
Oh, there we go.
Elias is pretty damn big, though.
I was gonna say when I saw him come out, I was like, I remember him being pretty jacked whenever he'd take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Didn't go do much with it, but he's got a good-ish look, I guess.
Jesus, when Brock was throwing those like hammer fists, I'm like, this just looks terrifying.
I mean, they say he doesn't hurt people really. It looks bad. I'm sure the Germans don't feel good, but I think one of the things about Brock is he never hurts you more than it's supposed to already hurt, right?
So is the implication that a German by a smaller, less strong person is actually worse than Brock throwing you?
I could see that being true. I've never heard them spell it out that way, but that guitar didn't have a ton of give to it, did it?
Yeah.
Jesus. Didn't someone tell a story about getting hit with a real guitar at one point and fucked their head up?
That was Jake with Honky Tonk.
Yes, that's right. And he said it was horrible, right? It was one of the worst injuries he's ever had. Yeah,
it said his neck still isn't recovered.
Jeez, that's wild.
It's like, why wouldn't they get a working guitar?
Yeah, that's insane. That's such a... Guitars are very heavy and very intricately built, and I couldn't imagine hitting someone with a real one.
And a real guitar is very expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Just get a
Especially,
piece of shit.
they were rolling in the 80s money-wise, but still shouldn't be burning money on real guitars.
No. It's like when they keep destroying cars. I'm like, why are you destroying cars? It's so stupid.
Especially when it's not with anyone cool or anything good. Oh, wow. It's Eric Redbeard. Oh, he's got his spider, just like we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Just like during our Survivor Series watch-along, available in the archives, awesometruth.libsyn.com.
That was 2014, Eric Rowan, though. That's 6 years removed.
I didn't realize the spider took that long to... it shows how subpar Eric Rowan's gimmicks were, that he was Bray Wyatt's friend, and then he was formerly Bray Wyatt's friend, and then he was a guy with a spider.
And a bludgy.
But we don't even know how to bludgy, of course. But we don't even... At this point, it's not even clear what's in the thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, Jesus.
There he goes. Okay, well.
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, that's the appropriate amount of time for Eric Rowan to be in the Rumble, but...
Yeah. This just created such an interesting dynamic, though, with...
It's sort of ballsy because there's a lot of dead air,
Yeah.
And it's Brock, posing and looking cool, and they milk it, but it could be boring as hell. There's a world where this is horribly boring.
Yeah.
But luckily, Brock is so good, and it goes on, as I remember, for so long that it sort of just becomes ridiculous at how dominant he's being.
You do get to a point, though, where you're just rooting for someone to eliminate him, and that's a thing that, they haven't really ever achieved or done to this level.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
This already feels like 20 years ago, which is so
Yeah.
weird. Just because
Jesus.
Bobby Roode is just so. Remember, why did they change his name to Robert Roode? Why would they? What was the logic there?
Was that an NXT thing or a main roster?
No, I believe
thing?
main roster.
Wow, I have no idea.
Just I don't understand the why that matters at all. You know, like it's not really better or worse. It's just why even waste the time to think about that? I guess
God.
Bobby's like a child's name.
Maybe, or
Vince
maybe
didn't like that. Vince was like, "He's Robert. That's a
it's
man's
too much
name."
like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, talk about swole guys too. Rude looks great.
Yeah, he does.
Although I will say, I'm probably told the story on the mic before, but I was at an NXT event in LA when I lived there, and it was when there was the Rude Drew Mac feud, and there was a stare down at the end because they were building to the next pay-per-view, I guess, with Rude versus Drew Mac. And Drew Mac obviously is a tall man, but he was like a foot taller than Rude.
Was that when you talking about the NXT feud, right?
Yes, and they did a legitimate like in the stare down, like in the ring stare down face to face, and Rude was looking into like his neck. It was really It was not. I would recommend letting those two guys get face to face.
Yeah, I think I saw that NXT in Brooklyn where Rude loses to Drew Mac, which we're talking about for no particular reason here.
Yeah, well, because Bobby Roode is gone, and because of and Drew Mac.
And I remember seeing him because this is right when he returned to the WWE, and he did a fucking like Topicon Hero, and I'm like, that is the biggest man to ever do that move and do it that well. It's crazy.
Yeah, the resurgent Drew Mac it's still great, but like having him back and putting him in NXT was really fun for a while there. It just seemed like such a totally new guy. Oh yeah, it's your boy.
Geez. My boy.
The ambassador of abdominals.
Yeah. I still have to figure out when that was uttered, and because I swear I didn't just make it up, but I could have just made
You have
it up.
such a good memory for these things. I'm 100% sure it happened at some point. But
I mean, I remember him calling Dolph Ziggler Mr. Ziggles.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I found that YouTube clip to support that. I didn't just make that up.
I bet it's out there. Like he's laughing, like, oh, it's cool. This guy. It is. See, this is funny too, because like, why would John Morrison and Brock Lesnar ever interact otherwise? You know.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see them in the ring together, even though it's going to be sure for 1 second. Yeah, there he goes.
Whoa, Jesus.
That was pretty good. And he gets this is great too. He gets the belt in between.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's great because the fans are into it. But I think like in 6 or 7 guys, they're like, okay, give us the conquering hero. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun for now. It's fun when he's tossing these jobbers, but
I mean, this is the same effect that Kane had on Rumbles for a long time, except this is the best version of like Kane holding Rumble hostage. You know.
it's similar in some ways to the Roman Rumble. When Kane and Show were tossing everybody. But like you said, it's similar, but also the exact opposite because this is exciting and that is the embarrassing.
Yeah. Or like when Austin would just eliminate every jobber in 1997.
And then was sitting in the ring and doing the watch thing, right?
He does the watch thing, and then Brett comes, and then that's the conquering. Well, Austin ends up winning the Rumble, like asterisk, but
yeah,
it was. That was another great iteration of this.
And Lesnar's just so good for that type of thing because he's gigantic and strong. And I think people get a little mad around here because I think he murks Kofi. And
again.
I was gonna say everyone's like, "Oh, come on! Like we like Kofi now. Like don't do this."
Oh wait, no, was this after Kofi? Oh, this was after Kofi Mania.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I've honestly I was confident for a second, and then I was like, it all runs together so much. Like I couldn't even tell you when Kofi Mania was. I think it was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
right?
I think Michael Cole just mentioned that he beat him in 4 seconds on the Fox.
I think it was
debut,
2019, right?
It was 2019. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So recent. So Kofi was murked by him months ago,
and will probably happen again.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's everyone's into Kofi. Everyone wants to see some. And there's a world where they do something fun here with Kofi, but I don't think it's the world we live in because I don't recall that happening.
We are still waiting for Kofi to get his comeuppance on Brock Lesnar for like that quick loss.
I mean, that's never gonna. No. We can wait as long as we want for that one, but I don't think
but something like that only works if you have this redeeming moment later.
I know.
Like, I don't know.
It's it's like doing a nuclear bomb on someone's reign. It's like you said, there could be a story there, or you're just saying, well, then Lesnar shows up and we do a full reset. And
Right.
And it's like you never even had the belt in the first place, except we mention it on the commentary every couple months.
It just like made the previous 9 months of like title programming is such an afterthought.
Oh, look at that! I didn't know. I don't remember this at all. I thought Kofi got tossed in 1 second, and I do not remember Ray. I thought it was gonna be like Lince Dorado or something.
Oh, I think Big E at some point comes, and then it's like, oh well, the New Day plus Ray overcome.
Oh, and then he ends up tossing all of them, I presume.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Ray and New Day make a little sense. He's colorful, he's got a lot going on. They could see them being a little somewhat of a team. Have Ray and Brock must have fought back in the Ruthless Aggression era, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's cool to see them together like this, and I was like, this would be a very fun. Maybe not. I don't know if old man broken knees Ray should be facing Brock, but it's very. I'm sure back in the day that was a good match.
Also, Ray's best friends with Cain Velasquez, UFC rival of Brock Lesnar.
Remember when Cain Velasquez showed up for a day and then never again?
Yeah, now he's in prison for like.
What even happened with that? Did everyone just boo it so badly they just said never mind?
I think so. That was a Saudi thing, right? That was a Saudi match?
I guess so, yeah.
Did
he have an actual match in WWE?
Yeah, against Brock, right?
Did he really? Jeez, I barely remember that. I remember him coming out and it just being like a fart. Everyone was like, yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah, cool, I think.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if he's in prison. I know he's standing trial for murder.
That's good. We don't want to get sued, so he's allegedly...
well, it's kind of a messed up story, but...
Oh, okay. Is he really that bad?
About his son and about why he murdered the person.
Oh, God, it was that. Yes. Okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus, this is quite a story, yeah. Wow. Okay,
sorry,
well...
Cain Velasquez is not in this world.
No, best and I can talk about it, to be honest. No.
Cain Velasquez, Rey Mysterio's best friend, we think.
He got hurt, and then they never actually had a match. Oh, no, he did. They fought him at Crown Jewel. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Anyway, that's over. Here's Big E.
Oh, so I
Big
called
E,
this.
friend of the show.
The friend of the show. Big E, friend of the show.
Look at him go. Oh, look, now they're doing a little, friend
powwow, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is great. This is great. And Brock's, doing a little bit of a look, okay, I actually got to think about this for a second here,
Yeah.
3 grown men.
Potentially a threat to me.
Yeah. Crowd's getting into it. That's fun. This is really well booked.
Yeah, they've really had a good idea here.
And they had a great roster, too. Besides Eric Rowan.
Oh, God.
Everyone else has been great.
That wasn't the cleanest Trouble in Paradise.
No, but look at Big E being strong, though. God, I hope he comes back soon. He's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's... I haven't seen an update in a while.
It's been 2 years, right?
Yeah, at least. God, I really hope he gets to at least go out in his own terms. I'm sure he will eventually. Even as bad as his injury was, it does seem like with enough time, people come back. But if he wants to, who knows? Oh.
And there he goes.
Ooh.
I love he jumps off his back.
That's really good. Uh-oh, this looks like it for you.
Was this before or after Big E cashed in? Oh, it's probably after or before. This is before he cashed in.
Yeah, I think he wins the belt in 2021.
Yeah, that sounds.
Is that right? I don't even know. You're asking me good questions that I have no answers to.
Sure.
You're the historian of us, so if you don't know, then I probably won't know either.
It happened later because Lashley had the title, and that happens next year.
Yeah, I think it was later. I think, but the crowds were back, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's great. Look at that. God, he's so good at that shit-eating grin too.
This truly is his finest performance.
It's really good. Oh, and this could be cool. I don't remember this being overly cool either, but.
Oh man.
Look how angular he is. So big, but just has so much body and so much width to everything. His arms, his wingspan,
yeah.
he's just such a
the only man who could wait. You talking about Brock? Or you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Cesaro.
Okay, yeah.
He just
the
has
only man
long
who could
limbs.
spot Cena, who Cena trusted to spot him.
Is that true?
Well, they were always like seen lifting together at those like specials.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I made up that moniker. I don't actually know.
Yeah, but he's a man who's been known to spot John Cena.
Oh, former Heyman guy too. We should. I don't know
Oh
if we,
God, yeah, that was. Remember that when Hogan said Cesaro, brother,
and then ran away.
and then Heyman
Ninja
came
vanished.
out. Yeah, and then Heyman came out, and everyone also went over like a fart. Everyone said, okay.
Yeah. Curtis Axel. Another.
If we ever have Paul Heyman on, we should have. That's all I want to talk to him exclusively about. The time he managed Cesaro and Curtis Axel.
Yeah. Don't want to hear about any of this whole ECW thing,
or this Roman thing, or this Brock thing. I just want to talk about Curtis Axel, who's probably in this Rumble. Actually, maybe not. Who knows? Because the roster's good enough. They might not need to use Curtis Axel. Oh, best buds. Another guy who just got fired.
Oh man.
Another guy who just I don't understand why he's never caught on at all. Like it's wild. He's obviously not like a great talker or anything, but just like I can't believe they've never really like tried, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't he beat Michaels a long time ago?
Did he win? I thought he just got his face super kicked in from across the ring.
Oh, you again, as the historian, I trust your read on that. I remember him doing a thing with Michaels, which is probably his most notable thing ever, which is not great because it was 20 years ago. But
he won a title once.
What title was it? Like the IC?
Probably IC, but
yeah. This might be his most momentous thing he's ever done. Like getting the Brock rub. I think Brock keeps holding him.
Why would Brock take him up on this?
On what? Being friends?
Yeah.
Except also them beating him up.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to kill an extra minute, you know?
Yeah. It's just respecting the history of like, hey,
which is something that we love, that kind of stuff, you know? Like any sort of callback to reality or past WWE events, like that's great.
But why wouldn't he have taken this help? I mean, it was free help.
Yeah, but he's so overconfident though, right? He just thinks he can't be beat, especially after knocking out all these guys.
Then he just got 3 against 1 and almost got eliminated.
But he probably also thought Sheldon was going to turn on him at some point too.
But why would you assume that?
I don't know. He's got a twisted mind. He's a bad guy, you know. He seems everyone's as bad as he is.
That's fair, but
who is this? Oh, and look at this, Sami Zayn. Remember when Sami Zayn was a manager instead of fighting for the title?
I don't remember this.
Yeah, he was in his Castro gear, and he was Nakamura's hype man. Because I think Vince was like,
Rick Boogs doing during this time?
I think honestly, they just slid Boogs into Sammy's role. Once everyone realized, oh, wait, Sami Zayn is one of our like 10 best wrestlers. Like we should probably give him, lots to do.
Was he injured? Maybe Zayn, because why was he in this match?
My memory is Vince just soured on Sammy and was like, "You're a manager now."
Oh, they kind of alluded to the fact that they fought in Japan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is another one. This is another history thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nakamura's not long for this match. Oh, wow, look at that.
And he's definitely not.
Can you give Shinsuke a minute, Like, that's a big shame.
IC champion Shinsuke
Yes,
Nakamura.
that's true. That sad new IC title.
Oh, man.
They have a new IC title now, right?
That's a great question.
I watched the Gunther match recently, and I don't remember what the belt looked like. But that belt looked terrible.
Yeah,
the IC title was their best title, and so it's a shame that it looks shitty in 2020 at least.
All right.
I mean, the white IC is one of the all-time best belts, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things like, why change it? Why? Yeah. Is it going to boost sales? The little new generation of people are going to like grow up on a title? Like, no, if it's good, don't. If it's broken,
it adds to the history. Oh. In Black Panther style gear.
Was he?
I believe this is the MVP return. I think this is like the first surprise of the show.
Wow.
I know nothing about MVP. What are your thoughts on MVP?
He's the TO. I mean, it's a great gimmick.
What does that mean?
Well, just like the quintessential like diva athlete.
Oh, the T.O. I mean the Terrell Owens. Okay.
What did you think?
Oh, Brock's doing the little dance. I remember this. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to have a GIF of that on my. I may still have a GIF of that on my phone.
Oh man.
I didn't realize that was for the MVP section.
Friend of the show, Chris Sabino, please make us all these gifts.
Brock really is. That dance is so good. Like he's so funny.
Yeah.
MVP.
You can tell he's just having the time of his life with it.
Yeah, just beating guys up. But yes, he is. That was his gimmick, at least back in the Ruthless Aggression era, right? As he was T.O.
Yeah.
And he's still now he's just sort of a guy named MVP, right?
Well, now he's like the TNA version that. Yeah, he's like the manager.
Yeah, he's just a hype man,
Yeah.
Stable runner type guy.
Could have given MVP a little bit more than this.
Yeah, well, they could have given Nakamura more than this too. So.
Yeah, but MVP is like this is like his like. Return.
I know, but the return guy. I guess sometimes the return guys hang out for like Perfect that one year. He was in the ring for 30 minutes. So I guess
Well, not 30 minutes, but Yeah. Did we even see the MVP slam? Or I don't actually know what his
No,
means.
I don't know what that is. Is that like Shawn Michaels' sidewalk slam finisher or whatever from 1991?
It is now. Revisionist history.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to. Great theme song.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Brock says "Big Boy," right?
Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
Remember Keith Lee in WWE?
Big Boy. Remember Keith? This is the start of I believe a legitimate Keith Lee push, right?
I think so.
I think he went toe to toe with Roman at this year's Survivor Series or the Survivor Series the year before.
Cole just mentions that, so this is kind of like he hasn't made the transition yet, but it's like he's about to.
Yeah, it sucks. I know he's had health issues. It's hard to tell what's going on with him, but there was a minute there where it looked like he was going to be legit, and he's great here from what I recall.
I don't know what this guy doesn't have how they couldn't have used him.
He seemed like one of the prototypical. If there had been like wagers on who was going to make it in AEW from WWE, Keith Lee would have been top of my list. I would have put serious money on him to break out.
Him and Dijak, it's like, how do you not have these people competing for
I know those matches were some of the best matches. They were so good. Just two big boys just doing crazy stuff and beating the hell out of each other, like such talents.
He is so massively.
Yeah, he is. And obviously he's, I'm sure Vince didn't like him because he's a little chunky, but he's agile as hell and can move like crazy. Like,
but he has fat abs. Like Brock has fat abs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's just called being so big and fit.
Look at Brock selling for him too. Like that's great. Like Brock doesn't always sell for big guys too. So
right.
Brock loves like the Finn and the Bryan and those kind of matches where AJ. But when he sells for another big guy, I feel like because I've been thinking about when he fought.
Double clothesline.
Yeah.
Great reset.
It's just it's a shame that Lee never. I hope he gets a chance at some point. I mean, I know he's pretty old too, so.
How old is he? He's in his 40s?
I believe so, yeah. So he's not like decrepit, but he's not a spring chicken,
We're still waiting for that Keith Lee swerve match.
Yeah, that's true. No, didn't they just? Oh, they were gonna have it at the last pay-per-view, but then he got hurt again, I think.
Yeah, so we're still holding our breath.
That angle still TBD. Oh, here comes Braun. Speaking of big guys that Brock doesn't want to sell for.
Oh God,
here comes Braun Strowman, who I think is employed again, right?
Is he?
I think so. I think I looked this up recently. Another guy they've tried so many times and just did not work, and hard to tell whose fault it is, but
yeah, how did he not make this guy work?
Yeah, it seems there's been times where he's over as anybody too.
Yeah.
And then there's been times where he just disappears or gets straight up fired, so
right.
Very weird. He is still back. He had neck surgery. Oh, he came back when Bray died, obviously, for like the tribute, but he's had neck surgery recently, so he's been out for a while.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
He was in the Rumble last year, and he has not been back since then.
There's a doc on Peacock, I think, about him.
About Braun Strowman?
Yeah, but we will never watch. But.
No, I don't really want to do that. No offense to Braun. I don't know maybe he's got a story worth talking about, but my first instinct is to not find out.
Yeah. Was he somewhere else for like a second? I don't remember.
He did that weird control your narrative promo with EC3 where they were like where there was like we are like, you know, we're like real wrestling or something. It was one of those ones they tried to be like, I can't remember what the hell it's about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I remember the control your narrative, like they tried to start their own Fed and then
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah, and it went away really quickly.
There's a third guy in that too, right? It was EC3.
Do not remember.
Braun and someone else. I can't remember either.
Probably.
But now EC3 in OVW with friend of the show, Al Snow.
That's true. The champion of OVW I've learned recently, which is very weird.
Yeah, okay. Go watch OVW. Everybody.
Sure, yeah, on the 900 channels it's on, and find out what's up with that.
I believe Fight.
Yeah, Fight. Oh, there goes the big boys.
Does he win the third? So he's tied the record at this point.
Has he really? This is 13?
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty good. Who was the record, Kane or Roman?
They said Strowman at 13 was the record holder.
Oh. Okay.
But it's a Ricochet.
Is this one of the eras when everyone liked Ricochet, or one of the eras when everyone hated Ricochet?
I think like.
Yeah, well, we'll find out by if he spends 1 second in the ring or 30 seconds in the ring. Looks like 1 second to me. Oh, he's getting there. You go. It's wild. Ricochet literally just fought Logan Paul like a few months ago, and I believe now is doing nothing again.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate like plug and play guy. Sometimes he does something incredible, and then he goes away for months at a time.
I will say in the Ricochet's case, it's like he could have just stayed in New Japan and done the Ospreay matches a million times or AEW. But like, I feel like him in WWE is actually not a bad. They're using him enough to justify the money they're probably giving him to not go to AEW, and like he has a position, and they throw him out there when they need him. And
he also can't talk at all. Like
he can't talk. Yes,
he's hard every time he talks. Like I remember at NXT, he'd have to talk every now and then. It was just like, oh, okay, well. Yeah. I don't know if you're ready for the big leagues, but yeah, you're right. He probably is doing about as well as he's going to do anyway.
Right.
So
has this guy ever watched wrestling before? Like,
like the one memory you have of NXT is him. Oh, there he is. Okay, I forget how long this takes, but like it's not. He doesn't get him out right away, right?
I believe it's relatively soon.
So Ricochet does he not eliminate Ricochet?
I'm gonna let you find out what happens.
Okay.
Here.
Wow. Thank you.
I now remember Ricochet playing a pretty big part in this.
Wow. Okay. So maybe it wasn't a period where they liked Ricochet then. God, look at Drew. Drew is so big too.
Yeah. It's a great look.
He looks incredible. God, I mean, anyone who gets to keep their chest hair and looks good in the process is just I'm such a fan of that. Some people just need their chest hair. It'd be like if Drew shaved, you'd be like, "What? You've just ruined the character.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Oh wow, Brock's one weakness. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And the fans are losing their minds.
The crowd popped pretty damn hard for this.
It is. I mean, that's another great consistency thing for WWE is Brock cannot be kicked in the dick. Like it knocks him. It's his one weakness, and it works all the time for like decades now.
Like most humans.
Yeah. Yes. It's the one thing he really doesn't like.
Yeah, possibly all animals.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad that that's so well done, man. So far, this is truly as good as I remember it. This is pretty much immaculate. Like, I have no notes.
And they also, like, do a lot of, like, the stare down from the ring to Brock on the floor.
Yeah.
And they've repurposed the shit out of that for WrestleMania, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They knew what they were doing. They had a plan, and they stuck to it.
Yeah.
Ricochet, oh, he's going for a pin. What are you, Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yeah, right. Don't you realize it's the fucking Royal Rumble?
It's so stupid. Oh, that was cool.
Jesus.
Jeez. He threw him. And now he goes back looking at Brock, too. That's great.
Yeah.
Man. So well done. This is also ridiculous. I forgot about this throw. I should have seen a replay of this 100 times.
Yeah, only Ricochet could do this and not
and
die.
only Drew could be the thrower because he's so like truly twice his size. So
yeah.
God, that's wild.
This is also like there'd be a record for like least amount of people in the ring at once in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. It topped out at 4 when it was the 3 guys versus Brock.
I'll be surprised if we got more than 4.
Oh, it's one half of Awesome Truth, newly reunited, Walt.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Miz and R-Truth for getting to hang out again together.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a formal. I don't think it was like a formal reunification. I think they were in the ring at the same time, right?
I don't know.
Like I don't think they're about to run back that angle where they take over the Fed, right?
Why that? Well, yeah, I don't think they have that kind of clout anymore.
Which is a shame. That was a good angle.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Look at that little kip up.
And he's still staring Brock down. As if it's like, yeah, you still have to win the Rumble, dude, before you can
there's lots of guys left to go.
Man.
Uh-oh, Miz.
I remember they started this Claymore countdown leading up to this Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And we weren't quite sure if it was going to catch on.
I was going to say, it felt very manufactured at the time, I remember.
But then after this, like everybody's like super into it.
Yeah, it's
true.
It's like the I think I brought this up a million times. It's like the burn it down thing with Seth. Like sometimes they just cram things down your throat and it works because it's just like you just give in. You're like, well, it's fine. Like I like the guy, I like everything else. I'm just gonna accept this one thing that you just are forcing on me.
Right. Oh no, the na.
Are they na-na-naing?
I think so.
Yeah, they're definitely na-na-naing. I mean, it's a classic thing. You got to na-na-na, right? Is he leaving through the crowd because he's so mad?
You got it, yeah. He looks so worried. It's like, dude, you still have the title. Like the whole point of this is just to prove.
I know, but now he knows there's a true contender to the throne. So
yeah,
he's so good at this. Like when he's game, he's really the best.
Yeah, I mean it's as if he hasn't had 20 years of experience in professional wrestling. Like people are surprised still. It's like, dude, this guy started in wrestling.
Yeah, and he's very good at it. And he didn't leave because he didn't like it. He left because he wanted to fight people for real for a while, and then now he gets paid so much money, and he's like, yeah, I'll come back.
Technically, he left to play NFL.
That's true. He did. You're right.
Football,
which didn't work out. That's the one thing that's the one knock. It's like, well, you maybe shouldn't be a pro football player, but honestly, I'd rather be a super successful wrestler than a random pro football player any day. So.
Right, I think
why would
so.
you rather be a D tackle? Like, especially if you work Brock's schedule, like versus being a D tackle on the Vikings. Like, what a weird, such an obvious answer to that one.
Yeah, I mean, UFC fighting is probably the best case scenario of everything, just because you only fight once a quarter at most.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you have to train like hell, but like, wouldn't you be training as a wrestler anyway?
Yes, that's true. It is a very lax schedule. I guess the only downside is you do literally can get very, very beat up by people who really want to hurt you. So.
You can get beat up by just being in the ring.
That's true. Especially if you have to. I mean, again, Brock's schedule is such a good schedule, but
that's true. I guess,
the point still, yeah, it's like in terms of just he's made some good choices. It's worked out very well for Brock Lesnar and deserve it too. One of those guys where he has that schedule and no one gets mad about it. Like the Roman, even now with Roman, everyone's like, okay, come on, Roman, like can you wrestle a little bit?
Yeah.
But no one ever gets mad at Brock's schedule,
Right. Making Brock Lesnar look like Ric Flair in the 70s.
Yes.
Putting on hour-long marathon.
Oh, Mr. Ziggles.
Yeah.
Nick Nemeth.
Newly acquired by New Japan.
Yeah, which is interesting, He's pretty old now, too. I don't know what he still wants to accomplish, but it'll be fun to see him in a real promotion where he gets to do, in theory, whatever he wants.
Wait, weren't they paired together at one point?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was his heater for a while.
Yeah.
Definitely before this, so.
How many heaters does that make for Ziggles throughout the years?
It was like, when I just heard that Wardlow was one of the Devil's goons or whatever, I was like, Jesus Christ, Wardlow's a heater again? Like, what is this? I know some guys are just sort of made for it, but man, just, some guys need them and some guys are just born to be them, and there's just no getting away from it.
Well, that's not going to help the whole Wardlow as a main eventer push.
Yeah, now that he's just Adam Cole's big friend, I don't know if that's if we're full steam ahead there anymore.
Man, I missed all of that.
Yeah, you didn't. You don't think you missed any of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I quote unquote missed it.
But yeah, you're right. I don't understand why Ziggler always has one. Like you don't like Michaels had one when he was, on the come up, and then once he made it big, of course he never had one anymore. Like it's just so weird that Ziggles that was just saddled with a need for one so many times in like a 15-year career.
Yeah, I mean, well, the difference though is Michaels progressed at some point.
Yes, that's true. Didn't have the same match. Oh, it's Carl Anderson.
So we're at 4. Do we ever get to more?
We have to.
Why is Carl Anderson wearing a shirt?
Yes, I was wondering. Is this like is he trying to sell some OC merch?
I mean, they got to close the merch stands at some point. Like, this is the main event.
That's true. I mean, just maybe you go online at www.shop.com after and buy that cool long sleeve OC shirt that Carl Anderson was wearing.
Original Club?
Are they back in WWE at this point?
They were for a while there.
I know AJ got hurt. Did that just sort of ruin them too?
Isn't he back?
Yeah, but I guess is Gallows and Anderson back?
Oh wait, no, I think AJ's a heel now.
Yeah, but Gallows and Anderson, they're bad guys, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they were good.
Oh, I don't know. There we go. It was for that spot, Waldo, so we could do a spine buster.
Sure.
Gallows and Anderson, arguably the most overrated tag team of the last decade.
Right.
Truly do not give a shit about it. Thought they were cool when they came over because I was like, oh man, the Japan guys, like, can't wait to see what these guys have in store. And the answer was they have nothing in store. They have nothing. Yeah. They're just two boring ass guys.
So the same thing about Lord Tensai too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just kidding. No one ever said that.
No, but similar enough vibe. We're like, well, this must be important because they worked in Japan, and then,
Yeah, the Japanese rebrand only works to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And then at some point you're just like a mashup of Prince Albert and Hakushi.
That's right. Oh, here it is, the big one. Wow.
God, this was 4 years ago.
Do we know this was coming at all?
I think there was like whispers, but it wasn't like, oh, this is definitely happening.
Yeah, it was a pretty big. It was I remember it being a genuine surprise for me. Yeah. Like certainly at this point, like you're like, well, burning him in the middle like this, it's just. And that theme, as we said on our themes episode, available in the archive, just what the perfect song to return to,
Yeah, this was a pretty pitch perfect moment.
And what's Edge up to now? He's fighting for the secondary title in AEW.
Is he fighting Christian?
Yeah, well, so he's fighting his buddy. I'm sure he's getting paid well for it, but you just if it were me, I might give Edge a title match, I know Kevin
Dunn is done, but someone should have been fired on his team for
fucking that up, for missing the pose.
Oh, no, they fixed it on Peacock. Wow.
Oh, it's the spear that he missed, right?
Yeah, they cut away from the Edge's first spear in 10 years.
Yeah, they had to fix that. Who did they cut to, the crowd?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember there was some grievous editing issue or cutting issue. But, okay, it's good that they recognized that error. God, he looks great.
You can tell he's just fighting back tears.
Yeah. I'm sure he's got blown up already too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just from excitement.
I'm sure there's a Talk is Jericho podcast where he recounts how blown up he is.
And look at this. See, look at, love AJ, but literally a foot smaller than Edge.
Yeah.
It's fine when they're not standing face to face. It's not a big deal. It's just when they get nose to nose, it's just hard to not see it.
Right.
AJ also jacked as hell upon his return. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like why? Like weirdly jacked. Like probably possibly more jacked than I've ever seen him, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it only took him 45 years to realize, like, hey, maybe I should have a sick. Get on that Randy Orton program.
That just doesn't seem necessary for his? Oh my God! Literally just had a match on the card too. We haven't talked about this card because his match is so good. He fought Roman 2 hours ago.
Corbin?
Yeah, Corbin versus Roman is the opener on this card.
Why would you even have that match?
I don't know. They're feuding, I guess.
Just put it on. Just have them face off in the Rumble.
Yeah, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. They gave him 21 minutes, and Roman won.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a barn burner.
That seems like a thing that happened 4 years ago.
And they broke the rule that they only apply sometimes, where it's like, because whenever they don't put a guy in the Rumble and he's got a match beforehand, it's like, well, of course he can't be in the Rumble. He already had a match, and then of course Corbin does double duty. So,
right,
one of those stupid defenses that is, there are no rules. A and B, they just whenever that doesn't matter, they just get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, Sami Zayn is literally not even dressing in his wrestling attire tonight, but Corbin gets to be in the Rumble and get a singles match.
Whatever, King Corbin. That's a king. We talked about kings recently too. He's another prominent king.
Yeah.
I
wonder who he beat to get that moniker.
Oh, AJ's out. Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, Carl Anderson survives.
Yeah. Possibly a Final Four in this match. Although I don't remember anything beyond this moment.
No, neither do I. I was going to say that exact same thing. This is all a bit of a... Oh, another New Japan guy.
Is he New Japan? I missed that.
Yeah, I think he's facing somebody. Tanahashi, maybe? I forget who he challenged.
That makes sense, though. He feels like a New Japan guy.
Got no shoes, he does real fighting. Like, he'll fit in very well there.
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't seem possibly not the best person based on things you hear, at least in terms of his conduct outside of the ring, but I could see him fitting in that style very, very well.
Yeah, right. But also they mentioned Broserweight, so I think he's still NXT.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is, and Lee was still NXT too?
I think so, yeah.
This is their tryout sort of, or their beginning of their ascension.
This is I think so.
Doing the kicks just like Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Kevin Von Erich do kicks?
I don't know if he did kicks, but he didn't have shoes on.
He definitely didn't have shoes.
Yeah, that's more what I meant. Just looking at his feet. He's doing the no shoes.
I think his big move was the drop kick, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess the Iron Claw, but
Yeah, well, he didn't do the Iron Claw. It was David, right?
He did at times, didn't he?
Oh, did he? I mean, it was David's move, though, I think. At least the movie made it seem like it was David's move. Okay. Baron Corbin.
Is he still around, Baron Corbin? Is he? He went to NXT at some point.
Let's check that out. Gotta know what Baron Corbin's up to. My friend friend of the show, Matt Rice, met Baron Corbin backstage once and said he was the nicest guy in the world too. So
that's cool.
We should say, as much as I do not like the character Baron Corbin, it sounds like he's a decent dude. Oh, he's in NXT. Remember that? He got friendly demoted.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Gallows.
Gallows with the half kiss, half Road Warrior get up.
It's a good roster, but I'd almost rather see Curtis Axel than Gallows and Anderson. So
wow,
yeah,
that is a hot take.
I don't know. It's I could probably be swayed on either end of that really sad argument, but
oh boy, I will never forget you saying that.
I mean, you're a Curtis Axel, you're a Michael McGillicuddy fan, right? Whatever happened to Michael McGillicuddy? Did he ever go anywhere after he got fired?
No, not. I don't know what happened to him. He did get fired, I think.
Oh, he definitely got fired. Oh, Baron Corbin. Curtis Axel is Michael McGillicuddy, which is weird. Oh, he's a producer. Oh, he got fired again. Never mind.
Okay.
They brought him back as a producer, and then he got fired.
What makes a good wrestling producer? I still don't quite know that.
I don't know. They say Tyson Kidd is good at it. They say Jason Jordan is good at it. So, I don't know.
I mean, Road Dogg was good.
Yeah, Road Dogg was good. Michael Hayes is the best ever. So, I really don't know. It seems like one of those, those who can't teach type things where it's like you might not be the best in the ring, but it's Randy Orton. But you're just really good at, talking about visualizing, I guess, and helping guys figure out what to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who knows? Good for everyone who gets that job. I would love to be. I think that's the best job in wrestling.
Wrestling producer.
It just seems fun just to talk to people and come up with a match, and and they do all the work for you basically.
Right.
That part would be fun.
I don't know. Dealing with talent is never.
That's true. They are probably not
favorite thing.
Yeah. Your job is sort of in their hands, and if they fuck up, then you're in trouble. Oh, here's the stare down that launched a bunch of dumb matches.
Yeah, sadly.
Remember
the best? One of the greatest was the greatest. Yeah.
I was gonna say. I hope all the fans out there remember literally the greatest wrestling match ever. Right? Isn't that what it was called?
Yeah.
And it was just a match, right?
It was just a match.
Why? Like, that's so weird that they would do that.
My God, rated RKO.
Yeah.
Reunion.
Fans are excited.
Remember another example of them remembering their history.
Yeah,
like
there's just
like cool people.
Oh well, Roman gets to do double duty too. I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember what it. I think he might be one of the last men.
He's got to be. I mean, it's Roman, right?
Yeah.
This is still Shield theme, Roman, right?
This is the last time I think we see like this iteration of Roman.
Does he not come? Is he not at Mania? Oh, because he didn't want to travel during COVID.
Yeah, it's COVID manias. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been around in like February, but yeah, this is essentially one of the last times, right?
Yeah.
But and then he became the Roman we actually like, for the most part.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how people feel about Roman at this moment in time, but over the last couple of years, certainly a fun trajectory for him.
Yeah. How do we feel about where we're going with Roman Reigns in 2024?
I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you have to? I'm kind of waiting to see. There's so much still up in the air right now, right?
Why didn't Cody just fucking win last year?
Yeah.
Because now they're never going to do it.
Well, unless they do. I mean, people are saying they're going to do Rock at a Limb Chamber, right?
And not at Mania?
Well, I guess the Limb Chamber is in that huge arena in Australia. I think the Limb Chamber is in Perth, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
But why wouldn't you? You have the Rock back, and you're gonna use him in Elimination Chamber. What part of that?
You got to sell those Perth tickets.
Cool.
I mean, you're right. They're probably not going to do that. That does seem unlikely. But I mean, is the Rock thing even going to be a thing? Like, I don't know. Like, does Rock want to spend? I mean, Rock's not going to. There's no way Rock wins because he's going to have the belt. What's that going to do?
Cody wins then when you have the Rock and CM Punk now. Like,
well, do we know is Rock? We don't know the Rock's in the Rumble, right?
I don't know.
I think that has not been. He just showed up once and said a thing on TV. Like, I mean, it feels like they're going to do something with it because being the H era, I assume they follow through on things now, but it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily be a thing tomorrow, you know? I
guess you're right, but I think the Rock needs something.
He does. It's a good. It would be. It's one of the first times where it seems like it would be serving both parties as opposed to just serving WWE. You know, like Rock could use a little boost.
Right. I think that he goes back to the well because.
But it already. I mean, I didn't watch that interview. It sounds like he was just doing his Rudy Poo bullshit, though, right? Like he's just doing the same shit.
There's no evolution.
It's just so like, do people? I mean, I like seeing him come to the ring. I don't know if I care about anything beyond that.
I mean, I really don't want to see him wrestle, but I stand from why that's the biggest match you could possibly ever put on ever.
Yeah, it is, and it's it's Philly though. They're gonna get raked over the coals of them. Remember last time The Rock and Roman were in Philly together?
I recall being there.
Yeah, I recall drinking tankards of butt wine.
Yeah, shitty Merlot.
It's Malachi Black, by the way.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, it does seem insane to not do it at Mania, but then what? Yeah, like you said, what are you doing? Like, and Roman doesn't seem like he necessarily wants to keep doing this anymore anyway. And like, do they want Roman to keep doing this? Like, I mean, I guess it's not hurting them, but it'd be nice to have a champion who's the champion.
Roman wins and we do this again for another year.
Yeah, that's the only alternative unless someone beats him. Like there's just no matter who Roman has to lose almost entirely. You'd think too. That was a great black match. Yeah. Great. What a great finisher. Yeah, I really don't know. It's going to be fascinating. It's a big decision, and like they're sort of bulletproof now because they have these TV deals and this Saudi deal. Like they don't need to do anything. I guess the money just gets printed no matter what. But H just seems like a kind of guy who wants, who's would like to have a fighting champion if he could. But then when Cody wins, if Cody wins and when they're gonna. What do you do with babyface? Like a babyface champ is usually pretty boring.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to change the pace from whatever the hell heel run we're in.
Yeah, that's true.
Where every ending is the same.
Yeah, the Roman stuff. Oh, it's Joe. Look at all these AEW guys around.
I know, right?
God,
also, we didn't talk about this. The what iteration of Kevin Owens are we in right now?
I believe we're in. Obviously, he's got the Stun Owens Stun shirt, so he's. I assume we're starting to build to an Austin match that takes 2 more years to happen.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's at least 2, right?
But I assume they're already. That's already. I mean, he's doing the stunner, and I assume that was in someone's head at this point. But it didn't happen for a long time. Kevin Owens is also kind of the same always, right? Unless is he friends with Sammy or is he enemies with Sammy? I feel like everything else is pretty much the same with Kevin Owens, and not even in the bad way. Just like,
but definitely were enemies back then, right?
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
Or they were just on separate brands and it didn't really matter.
Perhaps they were neutral at this point. Yeah, as neutral as they can be. This is a good list. Like this is a very now that we lost the OC. This is a great collection of guys in the ring right now.
Yeah,
just like stars of all around. Like Aleister Black is the least star, and I love Malachi Black in theory. So
right. Oh, was this Owens was a face, and I think I remember what happens.
What do they build? Does Owens have a Mania match?
He faces someone at the. A Falls Count Anywhere at Mania, but I can't remember who.
Oh.
Was it Rollins?
It must be. Oh, look. Wait, did Rollins have a stable at this point? Of Buddy Murphy and the Authors of Pain?
Authors of Pain. Were the Authors of Pain back, by the way?
Yeah, they came back with what's his face? Karrion Kross, apparently.
Okay, so I thought that was like fan fiction.
It does feel like E-Fed kind of stuff, right? Like, surely these big, burly dudes can all be friends or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Owens is a face, with Joe as a face, and they're feuding with these fucks.
Yes, apparently. Joe could also... Yeah, I don't really know what Joe does at Mania or anything, but...
Maybe a 6-man? I don't know.
Yeah, probably something stupid. But yeah, it must be Rollins Owens at Mania. That makes sense. I mean, it's always... Yeah. That's another go-to match when you don't really know what else to do. Just stick those two together.
Yeah.
Rollins, I'll say Rollins is. Every time I see Rollins, I'm just like I get it, but I also don't get it, and it's just really not impressed with him. Besides, I guess the last time we watched him, he was doing cool acrobatic shit, and I was saying, okay, like I did like when Seth had that jump to him, and now he's just like pissy baby and like.
When you say last time we saw him, do you mean the watch along we did for the 2014 Survivor Series?
Which was only 2000. That was the last time I've looked at Seth Rollins on my TV.
Because that was 10 years ago.
No, I mean the last time we watched him, you and I watched him for Awesome Truth.
Yeah, that was the Survivor Series.
Yeah, but that was the last time we watched him in the context of the show, and that was the last time I thought that I don't really get that I'm just kind of whatever with Seth. That was in November.
But that was 10 years ago that transpired.
Yes.
That we were quote unquote thoroughly impressed. It's been 10 years of that.
Yes, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I saw a glimmer of it when we watched November, and now we're watching this, and I'm like, the glimmer's gone. I'm lukewarm.
Right. He's establishing that the last time we saw a match that you reacted to, that was a 10-year-old match.
I'm just saying in the rare times when I think about Seth Rollins, which is usually when we're just doing this show, and you're right, there was a big gap between the two, but those are the last 2 times I've thought about him, and both times, even though I liked the last one a little more, I still don't know that he deserves all this.
No.
But whatever. Nothing we can do now. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame, so,
Oh, they saved him. They as in the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, pronouns, pal.
Yeah.
Okay, this Rumble does slow down a little bit now, which is, I guess, fine, because it was moving at, like, really good speed, and even though it was slow, and there was, like, 3 guys in the ring. Oh.
Forget, there's, like, after Brock gets eliminated, it's, like, another hour of wrestling.
Let's look up this Rumble, the Mania, the COVID Mania. Mania 2020. I want to see what else. I want to see what we're building, too. Oh, Joe's out. Okay, Mania 2020. We get Oh, it's the first 2-night one, which I remember was very exciting. And
Was it?
Yeah, I believe so. Night 1, we had Elias versus Corbin. I mean, this is a weird show because I think they just sort of did some stuff. Oh, Sammy started wrestling again right after this because he was the Intercontinental Champion. And he beat Daniel Bryan at Mania. Do you remember?
Oh, really?
And there was that triple. And I think one of the Usos got COVID, so they had a triple threat one-person match.
For the tag titles. Oh,
there was Owens and Seth in a no DQ. There was Strowman beating Goldberg in 2 minutes. There was the Boneyard match. There was Edge Orton. There was Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. There was a big dumb women's match where Bayley won. There was the Firefly Funhouse. There was Drew. And, of course, there was the secret main event of WrestleMania. Do you remember that?
The what?
Do you remember that Drew beat Brock Lesnar? For the title?
And then Show challenged him on Monday.
And then Show came out, and they taped a match with Show, which is listed here as the actual main event of WrestleMania. The dark match main event of WrestleMania.
It counts.
Oh, this is okay. This is good. I like this. The Romans look, they're remembering their history. We should remember our history and be friends.
Yeah, and then Drew's here.
Yeah, Drew's around. Yeah, see, this is a landmark Rumble for history recalling.
Oh boy.
Oh. I think they just all beat him up and tossed him now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a final four of some bunch of cool guys everyone likes.
I believe so.
Yeah, see, this is good. They're just beating up Seth. I like it.
Yeah, in an era when everybody was like, please beat up Seth.
Yeah, what's this guy's deal? And there he goes.
Bye.
That's good, too, because now you made clear there's going to be a no bullshit ending, you know?
Well, at this point, though, it's like, I count 4 men that left, and one of them's Roman Reigns, the guy who never loses.
It's like the Nakamura Rumble where Nakamura won. It was Nakamura and Roman left too, and everyone's like, oh, well, we know what's happening here, you know?
Yeah.
Clear as day. Or you're like, well, one of these guys is the cool younger guy who I'd love to see win, but these other 3 guys are legitimate draws, you know? So, like,
yeah.
Drew's up against something here because it's just a lot of name brands in this ring.
Right, but Edge isn't going to win in this return, and you kind of knew that Orton. This is an era of Orton he was just happy to be there.
Yeah, and they set up the Brock thing so much before that you're like, well, I really hope they're just going to follow through with that.
Right, exactly.
Would be insane to have him stare at Brock for 10 minutes and have it go nowhere.
But anytime he had Cena in the ring for like a better part of a decade, it's like, this guy's probably going to win. What the hell?
Yeah.
So when you have Roman left in the ring, it's still just like, where are we going with this actually? Because you set up something, but Roman Reigns is still there. It's
funny because in both Cena and Roman's sort of reigns, like not no pun intended with reigns, but like they at the end of that really long stretch where they genuinely did win every time, they finally start subverting it, and it's great, you know. Because, like I said, with Nakamura and Roman, and then here, and then with Cena started that finally losing matches, it is very exciting the first couple times they finally do subvert that and have, someone actually go over them. But it takes, literally 10 years for each of them winning in a boring capacity over and over again before you finally get to see something good come out of it.
Look at this double RKO.
Yeah, double, really, lazy.
Never seen that before.
Yeah, it was, really, barely moving. Wasn't that cool looking?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. That's really good. See, Orton too. I don't love Orton, but like you said, he's been doing this his whole life. Like he understands little things like that, you know? If you make a little face or you do a little cute thing, it goes such a long way sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. It's what I do. I'm Randy Orton, you know.
There's a camera in your face at all times, so even those small moments get picked up.
Yeah.
Brock understands that.
He sure does.
So he's dancing.
Yeah, he was dancing. He was doing all sorts of stuff. Brock loves doing weird stuff. But yeah, that was great. Again, what they're building to, Actually, what do you think Edge and Orton in front of a crowd would have done for the next couple months? Would that have been better?
I think it went pretty hot. People seem to always kind of like Orton.
Yeah.
And now they really like Orton.
Yeah, he's a steady. He's definitely accepted his graduation to like steady hand very well. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you call anything the greatest match ever, and people are gonna fucking can it. But I think that first Mania match would have been fire.
I think they were just overreacting because of COVID. They were like, we need to like, this is such a big deal, and we made it and we can't really hit pause on it because who knows how long these guys are gonna be around. So we kind of gotta just hype it up to death, even though there's no crowds and it's gonna come off weird and there's no enthusiasm. Like we have no other choice.
Oh my God. Also weird seeing Roman in a vest.
Yeah,
at this point.
This like
so
this,
used to him not in a vest.
The end of this like really shitty post-Shield era where he just had all the Shield stuff. And they were covering up like this incredibly handsome, fit man with all these cool tats with a stupid vest.
Oh, my God.
Oh, everyone thought it might happen. Does he actually eliminate Roman? Oh, no. Why would I even think such a thing?
Shit.
Uh-oh. I think we're just watching Rhapsody like we don't know what's going to happen.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I just want to see how they connect A to B to C.
Part.
I know they're going to. I think I know, but. We should do, for the next Rumble in a year, we should do the one that ends with Michaels Taker having their like little 10-minute match.
2008.
Yeah. Oh. That was a good Rumble, right? At least the end is great.
Oh, it's an amazing Rumble.
Yeah. Okay.
Only for Michaels and Taker having.
Yeah. I can't remember the first 50 minutes, but I assume it's solid.
Yeah. At this point, though, in this match, everybody's like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" Roman's
yeah, but again, wasn't Nakamura 2 years ago? Like they've done this pretty recently.
True, but
it still seems like, and like Roman Brock just makes so much sense. They go back to that well so much.
Right. Sadly, it makes too much sense.
Oh, is this it? I think that's it, right?
I think this might be it. That was a Claymore.
Wow, that was great. Look at that. The crowd loves it, too. It's fresh blood. Yeah. Drew Mac, everyone's so excited.
Drew Mac really had a pretty great run. And when I say great, I mean, like, it was the run right before Roman's, like, dynasty.
Yeah.
And it's pretty memorable. Like, he's considered a pretty top-tier guy still. Like, it's not like his stock is like diminished greatly. It's like no, he's still putting on bangers. Like last year,
he entered into that
match.
Like I don't maybe not Orton level because I don't know if he's that, but like that Sheamus certainly he wrestles Sheamus all the time. But like similar to that, where like you could plug him into the main event whenever you want, but his matches do feel like big deals almost always. Like he's a top tier guy, and it was because of this. He never broke through until now, and it seemed like they were never going to pull the trigger. And when they did, it was huge. And really the only downside is no one got to really, celebrate it at Mania when he won. But I'm not sure. I mean, I would have loved to see a reign. I know we in the Drew Mac episode in our archives, we talk all about, he's sad he didn't get to do it in front of the crowd and all that. But I mean, like again, a face champion is always a tough sell sometimes. Like the build is way better than the aftermath. So I don't know how much better it would have been or what they would have done with it ultimately. He probably would have got murked by Lesnar again at some point and lost it right back. So. It's
true.
I don't know. I think we always have this moment, and like we always have that Mania. Like it's extremely memorable. No one's ever going to forget that Drew Mac won the Rumble pre-COVID and then won the title at the COVID Mania. Like it sucks that no one was there, but it is iconic and it's historical in its own way.
Yeah, no, it's
and like you said, they made him a big deal. He is without a doubt a big deal, and it's he would never have been that if not for this. So. So
great job.
Good. And it was a great Rumble. That really was. It slowed down a tad, but they all slow down at some point. Like it was just, there were 28 pretty amazing guys in that match, minus Gallows and Anderson.
Sure.
And it really, they booked it to a T. Like one of the most well put together Rumbles of all time.
No, we got the copyright. That's the go home.
Yep. Anything? Nothing. No, it's over. Great.
Right.
What a show.
Treat.
Well, that's a good Rumble, everybody. I don't want to watch the 2021 Royal Rumble. No thanks.
Yeah, we're good for another year.
But there you go, everybody. Hope you enjoy the 2020 Royal Rumble watching along with us. If you want to go watch the COVID Mania, please feel free to do so. We will not be joining you in that regard, but it's before COVID happened. They really knocked it out of the park with a really, really good Rumble. So if you want to hear more episodes in our archives about all the topics we covered today, Edge, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, the whole gang, they're all available at awesometruth.libsyn.com. If you want to subscribe to us to get new episodes and old, you can do so everywhere podcasts are delivered, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those great places. Well, great to talk about the Rumble with you. Great to watch a fun one. And welcome to 2024. I guess we already did a 2024 episode, but this feels like a real 2024 episode and more good stuff coming everybody's way.
Yeah, I mean, Royal Rumble is the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, and like you said, we talked about it. We'll see what the real WWE in 2024 does with Cody and Rock and all that stuff. It'll be fascinating, and we'll be here to talk about books and also some of that too.
Yeah. Little do we know, it's just going to end up being Lesnar Roman again.
Yep, right.
Right.
You should never count that out. Always a possibility.
Sure.
Thank you all so much for listening, and remember, the truth will set you free.